Get more poles. I see the play you wanted to set up. I like it. I like it. You get the baton pass. It's like a relay race. Just, you know, you're moving your opponent's guys. It's not really anything like a relay race, but it was the first thing I could think of. I am made for playing some Phobies. At least I like to think that. So we're going to be playing some Phobies tonight, including our brand new avatar. So let's jump in. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future. So look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. So what's going on, chat? How's everybody doing out there tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everything is going well for everybody. End of another week. End of another week. And we got a few different things on the docket tonight. We have a few conversations that probably need to happen. Probably should happen. Namely, what's going on with Fright Night, what's going on with tournaments. There's a little bit of news from the Phobies team. If you haven't really been closely following the Ask the Devs channel. So we'll talk about that later on tonight. But we do have some game reviews. And we're going to jump in with those to start. This is someone that's new to game submissions. And judging by their top MVPs, we got a Smother Mother, we got an Alligator, and we got a Grimes. I'm kind of curious what we're going to see here. So, all right, so we're jumping in. Let's see. Whoop, I lost my chat. Where's chat? There we go. There's chat. All right. Hey, Ando, what's good? How you doing? All right, so we're jumping in this game. Trying to stay hydrated, chat. Game review, yes. So we're working through the list. And we do need to go through, I know I mentioned earlier we're going to talk about Fright Night, but we do have a Fright Night 2 champion. Talk about that later. Got to talk about the actually review the series there. All right, so game review. Our bad guy here is in the blue trunk zoning in on crypto, whereas our hero here, Renamon, is this actually, is Renamon or Renamon? I'm not sure, but this sounds like a Digimon. I could be wrong. I was not really in the age group for Digimon or Pokemon. I ended up getting more attached to Pokemon for other reasons. Never really was a big Digimon person. I was just kind of aware of it. Although I was interested in playing the TCG when it came out, but the most recent, because there's like 8 iterations. But the most recent one, unfortunately, pandemic and just like kind of killed everything. It is a Digimon. All right, Chad is confirming. Is it a cool Digimon? Like, is this an evolved one? I have no, all right, I have to Google it now, Chad. We'll get into this game review in a second, but I have to know what this is. It's an animal Digimon. Has the appearance of a golden fox. Interesting. The images remind me of Alopex, but that's just because Alopex is an anthropomorphic fox in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I really like that comic series. I gotta get back to reading it. But anyway, we're gonna jump into actual Phobies action on crypto. I mentioned it before, but I'm really starting to dislike this map. Now, we do have, at least at the time of this recording, by the time this goes up on YouTube, this will probably already be in place, but we are expecting a beauty nerf. Whoa, wait, timeout, huh? What? I'm not real sure why this didn't meatball this. If you're gonna do this, I feel like you just kill it, right? Oh, you can't kill it. Okay. Can't kill it, because this is a level 12 snowball. By the way, this is... Hey, Maximus, what's good? Welcome, welcome. So, according to the notes, this is Doomsday 1. And this is a level 12 snowball. That's kind of scary. So... That's why I was shouting out, why not just kill it, but you can't. You're just not, so womp womp. Instead, we're going to have the follow-up jar. Now, how high level is this jar? Holy good God, we're going to be talking about Phobie levels later on tonight because there's some news on that front. But holy crap, if I was in Doomsday, this is bonkers. All right, Maximus. All right, so we get the kill on the jar. I mean, that's to be expected. Fireball is not up yet, so we're not super vulnerable here. Vulnerable, but not supremely so. And our blue player is being very aggressive with the panic points. I can appreciate it. Like, I can respect... Wait, what? You're telling me all your stuff is like level 80 gazillion, but you can't... Wow, you have to meatball this. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. You have to meatball the Henrietta. That's not necessarily the position you want to be in. So there's a lot of pressure going down on our blue player, but thanks to the dimensional here, we're able to... Oh, they're not going to leave it. Understandably, this thing is probably weak enough. 323. Yeah, this would have died to a plain hit from the opposing murder wing, so retreating makes sense. Keep the body alive. But they're banking to 8. Are we going to see a beauty here? Oh, your favorite and mine, it's Misanthrope. It's Misanthrope. I actually don't mind Misanthrope. Mine just happens to be very underleveled. I was mentioning this the other day. Since the pack opening, I've been trying to force a bunch of the new Phobies that I've gotten in async and arena games and just actively trying other strategies. Oh, speaking of new Phobies, all right, well, this thing looks just so cool. But the problem is that a lot of them are underleveled for where I am, so it's just kind of like, it's a big sad face moment. Because it's like, oh, well, Misanthrope's supposed to be this is a level 10 Misanthrope. It has 21.5k hit points, 2158. This is supposed to be, oh, I'm a big mountain of stats, except mine's underleveled, so it's like, no, you just kind of suck. So it's a little weird. It's a little weird. But anyway, rather than go on and on about Misanthrope, we have a near takedown on the Murder Wing, but not quite enough. But we do have a Graylien. Now this is, if you haven't seen it, although you probably have by this point in time, Graylien is the old switcher U. It's going to swap, which I'm sure we're going to get a lot of plays with this, people submitting it for game reviews, which, by the way, if you want to get your own game reviews, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord in the description of this video. But I'm sure there are going to be a lot of submissions for highlights or game reviews with this, simply because this could have the potential to really set up some bonkers plays. But we'll see if that actually materializes. Now this, how much damage is this putting out? 458. This is a level 4 Graylien. Not bad. Yeah, so I figured we'd see the retreat here. The question is Graylien going to go in? Graylien's going to retreat and gargle. So our orange player is very much allowing or utilizing, we'll rephrase this, utilizing their life total as a resource, which is important. It's similar to card games, similar to plenty of other games. You don't die until your heart is actually dead, or you lose all your phobies. But the idea is that leverage your resources. The health on your heart is one of them. You don't necessarily have to panic about the panic points until you do. So we get an Alistor follow-up. I'm afraid to click on this to see how much. This is a level 16 Alistor, folks. Good lord. Now the Gargles is a little weird, but it does off that Murder Wing. Oh, I love the sound effect for the Graylien. Bonk. Wait, did that just play, like, the Phobies theme song? Will it redo the sound effects? Alright, I gotta listen. I gotta listen to this, chat. We're almost there. I gotta know. That, like, little thing at the end of the animation sounded like a riff on the Phobies theme song. I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Watch someone spawn all 3 landmines, then Graylien something into those landmines. I'm waiting for that kind of thing, Maximus. Seriously, like, it's gonna happen. Or someone's gonna send in a blooper play where they accidentally Graylien a flyer over an abyss, and then, I guess, just don't undo it. I don't know why that would happen, but, you know. So we're getting some positioning battles here, but we now see the Grimes show up. So Grimes is now in the mix. The problem is that, as mentioned, this is a really high-level Alistor. It's possible Gargles just dies here. Gargles should be dead just from the Alistor, but maybe other stuff. But our blue player's down to only 3 keys. The Grimes is a little weird, simply because... Well, what level is the Grimes? The Grimes is level 7. It's not putting out a ton of damage, but unless it scores a kill on this... Like, it's not likely to... Wait, what? What happened here? So you spawn the Spud. What? Did Alistor just not attack? Like, at all? This, I didn't see if this was an arena game, but maybe they ran out of time? Because, oh, there's the Switcher U. So that means Grimes gets in. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Look at that swap. You love to see it. It was arena? Okay. Bluelian seems like the type to be a ranged attacker. Is Bluelian ranged? I don't even know. Spud was going to have to be on the lava tile, I think. Also, this is arena. Well, Spud did get an attack in. That was fine, but I'm surprised that the Alistor didn't kill the Gargles, which, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it obviously matters, especially when you're down to 2 Phobies. Leaving your opponent with extra stuff is bad. So now we have a follow-up Clinico. The Gargles is locking down the center. Like, I don't even know what our blue player does here. It feels like this entire game was just, like, picking them apart. I mentioned it earlier, but Orange spent a lot of time appropriately expending their health, expending their heart life. Like, they're down under 2k. That's kind of scary. But at the same time, it doesn't matter as long as you win the game, right? I love the attack animation for the new aliens, though. Grimes growing even more. And pretty soon, how big is this Grimes? Almost 1,000 attack. Well, it's almost 950 attack. I was exaggerating just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then we presumably see a concession in here. This didn't feel as though it was like, oh, well, our blue player made one enormous blunder. It was just kind of like a series of errors. Like minor errors here and there. Like, this Murder Wing didn't need to die, I don't think. The Misanthrope invade seems weird. Like, this Misanthrope did nothing, right? It tanked a bunch of damage and reclaimed this point, but then it just died. It was just incinerating 3 keys, which I don't mind Misanthrope. Yeah, I knew you would say that, DT. Like, I don't mind the Misanthrope. This thing had almost 2,200 health. Like, it had a ton of health. But this doesn't seem like a valuable use of it. Grimes was about to commit some crimes. Yeah, Grimes was about to do some nasty things. Also, like, this positioning on Cottontail seems suspect. I mean, obviously, it just dies for free. Now, we should have seen Gargles die, but we didn't. Like, at this stage, I was questioning the Grimes, but honestly, like, it's Alistor and Henrietta versus this army, which, even if this dies, like, clearly the Henrietta, like, this had to have been, we talked about it when we went through it the first time, but, like, this turn must have been they ran out of time or disconnected or something, because this should be a dead Gargles. You could have even pulled the Alistor back and then ended up in this spot. Point being is that it would not have been in range of, like, both of these. So you would have taken... You would have been at 1,600. You would have been... Oh, wait. So, hold on. Could you have just killed this? So, ultimately, our orange player goes for the Switcher-U on the Henrietta. What if they Switcher-U'd this? It would have been, like, 800, 12... 16? No, it wouldn't have been enough damage, unfortunately. Because they could have Switcher-U'd the Alistor to the middle panic point and then collapse on it, but nothing can hit it twice, is the big problem. They didn't want Spud on the lava tile? Well, yes. So they could have killed it with the Alistor, but I think that then opens this to what we were saying, because you end up with... Well, no, because this would have been... This would have been dead, but effectively it's doing the attack anyway. So you're at 1,600. You do 5. You do like 1,000. Maybe. So like they could have killed this with the Alistor on the stem, because the Alistor did not attack this turn. Which is the weird thing. Which is part of why I'm thinking that it was just like a disconnect or something. Or they were debating for so long and just never did anything. But leaving this alive was obviously dangerous, and then getting Henrietta picked off. Like, there was no need for it to be here, but there was probably some panic setting in, whatever, and obviously Graelian does funny stuff with Switcher-U, so... Like I said, it just feels like there wasn't necessarily a singular decisive play, as compared to there was more... just... I don't want to say nothing was going blue players' way, but it was a very patient game from our orange player. So shout out to Renamon here. We'll skip ahead to, because we, you know, at this stage we already knew what was happening anyway. And then there must have been a concession that came in, but GG. Or not. Kill Switcher-U action. Kill Switcher-U to finish it out. Not bad. Not bad. GG. Shout out to Renamon. Thank you for submitting that game. That was pretty cool. Got to see some cool stuff and a victory over what seemed to be like a significantly higher leveled opponent. Significantly higher leveled. Alright, chat. Let's take a look at game review numero dos. Okay, so this is another new person, I think. New to submitting games, I mean. Not necessarily new as in new to the game. As you can see, they're stress level 35. They may have been around for a little bit. This was in Doomsday 2. They're saying call him Rock Swan instead of Virus, okay? Sure. No aliens in this match, though. Womp wah. You can't have everything, but as long as we get a good game, that's all that matters. Let's see what cool stuff is happening. Alright, chat, let's jump in. So we're zoning into Phobopolis, which, honestly, I'm starting to really like this map. I think it's kind of unique. I'm sure my opinion will change as time goes on, just like I said, with stuff I didn't like and stuff that I do like. But this opener is something that I keep meaning to try, but I've been going second a lot, so I haven't really had the opportunity to. But Droney to the center here, because you can't retake this right away as the orange player, and given the Castleway backup, you can supplement this center point and then force your opponent to be on the back foot for the early part of the game, as compared to trying to sneak a one cost in there and then start trading them out. Now, this does shrink your options. You know, you could be 3-1. Instead, you could be 2-1-1, but this forces you into 2-2. Well, maybe it doesn't force you into it. You could go 2-1-1, but... Now, this is kind of bold. This is bold, unless they're going to body block with this, Cassowary. Or they're just gonna kill it. Oh, wow. I know our hero here is in the orange trunks, but this is a rough start. You hate to see this. The droney, almost the assassin. It's actually setting it up with the assist. The leap from Cassowary, and that's a dead murder wing. I like that. Honestly, I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't get it. The jar is just going to die, and you trade. But no, it's not a trade. You just annihilate it, and that's a pretty significant board position loss. I'm not going to lie, or it feels like it. Now, the droney will go down. It pays for its crimes. The Cassowary's on cooldown. And we had a Gesundheit following up, which I don't necessarily like. I'd almost rather that they had instead just banked the keys. And truthfully, the droney didn't need to be there, right? 1, 2, did it? 1, 2, 3. Yes, it did. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because there's no way that it can get to this spot, and it can't go here because Cassowary needs to be there. So I expect we're going to see... Oh, no, we're not. I was going to say maybe this is going to be an invading Jin Sting, but... And we get a Cyclops follow-up, and of course Hevo from our blue player. Hevo makes sense. Any of the lobbers on this map and many others are just super strong. So we're just leeching some life from that Cassowary. It has to get out of range of the opposing jar. Now, I don't know if this is enough of a deterrent to... Ooh, we get a Ray Chargels as well. This might be fine because our orange player can hang back. They don't have to commit. And this is something that I don't have that I feel is going to be very strong on this map in Spud. It just gives you another lobber to help soften things up because inevitably someone's going to have to commit, and not just commit but through a choke. As compared to other maps where you might be able to swing 2 or 3 phobies around an obstacle and or try and, you know, like pincer movement your opponent and trap them from 2 different angles or multiple different angles. On this map, you're pretty much dealing with chokes everywhere, barring, you know, a bunch of Gravedigger and Crushmore shenanigans. So as a result, your opponent is forced into committing in ways that they certainly don't want to. And that means that if you have this panic point advantage, you can just set up defensively. There's a point where you're being over defensive, but you absolutely can do it. Now, blue is somewhat set up in order to invade, but I do appreciate that our orange player was preparing for the cat replacement here by bringing in their cowbell. There's been a lot of trading on this map when I played it. Now, unfortunately, we see a Spud go down, so now we're at what? 2 keys to 7? It's not looking great for our orange player, I'm not going to lie. And we get a Barzilla follow-up. What level is this Barzilla? This is a level 6 Barzilla, 3,200 health. This is a big boy. It's a big boy, chat. So the Ray Chargels is in a forward position trying to get something to happen. This feels like a weird invitation, but I guess the Ray Chargels probably dies if it goes in. You have 6 keys. It's going to be in range. You can bring the Quagmire back. You obviously could move up the Cyclops or something. Or you could just body block with Fetch, who is a pretty big threat. Fetch is doing 700 damage a crack. Now, the issue here... Like, it can hit and retreat from both of these and just soften it up for... I mean, that's a significant amount of Fetch's health gone. So we'll have to see. But in the meantime, we get a Muffin going. Muffin healing up the Gesundheit. There have been some spare shots here and there from each of the jars in order to help soften things up. I'm not real clear why Fetch was the call. The Quagmire could have body blocked as well. Like, the Fetch didn't have to even exist in order to stop the Ray Chargels from coming in. But how are you going to deal with this Barzilla? You do have a lot of damage. There is the panic point advantage, but at this stage, I think we're in the trading 1-drops category. And as long as... Really? Okay, so there's a couple things here. Whoop. We'll pause at a better point. So one, we see the staging of the 1-drops, right? Our blue player is at 8 keys. Our orange player is at 9. With the 1-drops on the board. This jar is vulnerable to Ray Chargels. However, it will die if it goes in. You can't fight jar into jar because the second jar will win. And there's really nothing else in position to threaten the jar. So we'll see what our blue player wants to do. We're a little over halfway in. Okay, so they are going for it. They're valuing the lob over... see, I don't know about that. Hitting this Quagmire is meaningless. Quagmire heals 345 damage a turn. This only does 266. Like, that accomplished nothing. I think you'd be better off with putting the jar next to the Chargels. I mean, I guess you still hit the Quagmire, but I don't know. You can't quite hit the fetch. Alright, so we get the hit here. Get the hit here. Get a Cyclops to finish it off. And it's now 4-1 panic points blue thanks to that now trapped creep that's up here. And that creep is not long for the world. I don't know about the creep advance. Because poisoning, say, Quagmire doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess it does. It helps decrease the amount of healing, but I'm not sure that's worth it. Okay, we get an invade from Barzilla. It looks like our blue player doesn't care anymore. That poor creep. He's going to have a bad day. He's going to have a bad day. I'm with you, Maximus. This is not how creep pictured it's going to end. And we get a Sparky follow-up. That's a little weird. This Sparky is level 7, so it's fairly sizable. Obviously, there's the... Oh my god, what is happening to Barzilla right now? What is happening, my man? It looks unpleasant. That is uncomfortable. But anyway, so the Sparky sort of answers the Hevo, but it feels very much like, I want a big thing, so I'm going to put a big thing out here. The challenge here is, like, that Barzilla is actually going to take a fair amount of damage. Couldn't they have booped with the fetch? So, like, they could have booped with the fetch and then put the Contortio in the center, rather than this. Seems a little weird. But ultimately, Barzilla is going to get the hell out of dodge. There is still 1 key left. We could see a Muffin maybe to heal. But we have 4 keys left on our orange player side, and this is starting to thin out everything. Electrocat, alright. Probably just an arbitrary 1-drop. The fetch is down to under 300 health. Has this fetch done anything? It hit the Ray Chargels and, like, that's it. You get a Clinico. Sure. Alright, so this is a decent amount of damage going down onto this Sparky. It's not going to kill it, but it is at 1,000 health, which doesn't, like, invalidate it, but it definitely hurts it. Fetch so bad he never does anything? I don't think that's true. I think Fetch is pretty decent, but this Fetch... I think this map is even more difficult to leverage boops on. I mean, that might be true, Maximus. My face went Taco Bell? Oh, no. I love Taco Bell, and I've never had the, we'll say, the digestive issues that a lot of people attribute to it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's my stomach. I've just been lucky. Now that I say that, I'm sure it'll be a disaster. You didn't expect to hear about that, did you, YouTube? Let me know down in the comments. But anyway, Fetch is good, just not on this map. That's the thing. I'm glad you brought that back up, Onda, instead of talking about, you know, fast food places. I don't like boops on this map because it's just very difficult to get an advantage. It's very challenging. It's like you boop them away, which is already hard enough, but now you are limited in the angles that you can collapse on things. There's obviously no Abyss tiles. I'm bringing this other stuff up because we're seeing the beginning of the end. I think the mistake here from Blue was some of those invades. Some of those attempted trades did not work out. I just couldn't find a moment where Fetch is better than Quagmire. I think it basically just comes down to, do you need a displacement effect? Like, that's basically it. Yeah, we're watching the slow demise here. Well, maybe not slow, but we're watching the demise of our blue player. It really just felt like an overextension. Now, they were down keys, so it really depends on the collections for each player. You know, how many 1 keys do they have left? How many 2 keys do they have left? Could they continue to keep trading things back and forth? But I think that the Sparky was a poor choice. Barzilla maybe could have been something else. But despite the early gains, this was a great comeback from our orange player here. Hey, Jenna, welcome. We're just doing a couple game reviews to start. This is the second of which. But yeah, this was a pretty cool game. I don't think it was... I think it's a combination of the wrong Phobies chosen. Like, this is 50... No, this is... Yes, this is 15 keys. I second-guessed myself for a second. It's like, it's 8 and 7. It's 15. Anyway, like, this is 15 keys that could have been a lot of different stuff. Now, I don't necessarily mind the Barzilla. You know, it's a pretty sizable threat. It's a whole lot of stats, but are stats really what you need? I think this invade up here a few turns ago was not great. Like, this turn where they went for the jar, they end up losing 7 keys worth of stuff for basically nothing. It's like, you got a turn of damage. Like, okay. They still have 7,000 health almost. You lost the creep, you lost the Ray Chargels. Granted, if you consider the fetch, because the fetch has done mostly nothing, it's really only a -2 key trade, but I feel like that's a lot of tempo lost. You end up ceding this position almost entirely after this. This invade also was super questionable, I think. So we end up starting was it this turn? 3,200 health on this. Oh no, it wasn't this turn, because this was the turn where they end up retreating. Like, they have the health, almost, of the Barzilla. There's not enough keys for anything but a Muffin to come in to try and heal it. And at this point, it's like... Yes, the army counts are similar. You could make an argument, thanks to Jar, that our blue player's at an advantage. You didn't need to lose this Gesundheit here. Like, Gesundheit should have been on this tile that covers this center one, like, move it up to. Overall, yes, player, I agree with you that our orange player had a better suite of Phobies that showed up. I think they are, like, the weak points, say the Fetch and the Sparky, are comparable, because it's like, oh, well, they both have one weak link in the chain. But this costs 7 and this costs 5. So it's a 2-key differential. The Barzilla is, as mentioned before, questionable. We don't know what blue player's collection is, so maybe that is their best option. But I think they could have won this game with the Phobies they had, but there were a few mistakes that were made, and orange player was able to capitalize on it. So, absolutely, shout out to them. Definitely appreciate you submitting the game, Rock Swan. Because I was about to say Virus, and I'm like, wait a minute, they said don't call him Virus, so... But yeah, this was pretty cool. I like this. And then at this point, like, we're just closing out the game. We already saw a lot of these turns, so GG. But again, thank you for submitting the game. And if you want to get your own game reviewed, hit up the Random Slots Discord. There's instructions in there. It's really not hard. Just go on the Discord. You'll figure it out. Alright, what did I miss in chat? I opened a scary pack and I got Octonaughty? Nice! Penguin, grats! Got a little octopus action? A little Octonaughty? Love to see it. Mentioning packs is unrelated, but I'm pretty sure they changed the odds of getting new Phobies or at least new Ultra Rares in the Dreadful offer. What makes you say that, player? Like, it makes it easier or harder? Just started to play the game and I really love that the strategy is nice. It is awesome. I really do enjoy this game. We're going to be doing some more esoteric topics later on tonight. I want to talk about balance. I want to talk about tournaments. There's been a change to Phobie leveling that has been confirmed by the devs. That is, it's not a huge news item, but it's notable, so I think it's worth talking about. I'm tempted to do a frightening pack because I can't be bothered to grind for scary. It depends on what you want out of the packs, Maximus. That's basically what it boils down to. Are you looking for more Phobies? Are you looking for more XP? Each of them have a different value to them, or at least we're assuming, because the tier packs we don't know the numbers for. We're just assuming the numbers are worse than the coffee packs, because we do have numbers for those. Like 50% of the packs seem to give it ultra rare. It's weird. It's supposed to be 8%. Just look at some of the... Well, here's the thing, and I'm sure you know this, player, because you were collecting stats. This is a self-selecting sample. Like, people are volunteering, because how many people are going to post their pack if it's garbage? You know what I mean? So, by that measure, 100% of the packs have ultra rares? I mean, obviously not true. Yeah, we got the B-Man. We got the B-Man. We got those subs, so, like, I was told if they were going to give some subs, so I said, all right, what the hell, we'll get the avatar. I was just wondering, because the cards level is in the game a bit pay to win, like the maximum level of Phobie. Okay, since the question was asked, let's talk about this. So, all right, chat, we're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about a general Phobies topic. We're not really taking a break, but we're going to be talking about a more general Phobies thing. Let me just get the exact quote, because I posted it in my Discord, which, by the way, if you want to talk Phobies, you want to talk other games, hit up the Random Slots Discord, ! Discord will give you the link. That's also where you can submit games to be reviewed. Somebody had asked, if you're not aware, if you're not in the official Phobies Discord, not mine, the official Phobies Discord, which, by the way, throwing that out there before we get started, you see the hashtag sponsored that's down there in the title description? Or the title, rather? That's because I am part of the content affiliate program. That means I get stuff from Phobies, or I'm supposed to. Full disclosure, I haven't gotten anything yet. They had started this program not that long ago. I was accepted because I produce content, so there you go. I do have a relationship with the team, we'll put it that way. But there was a statement made by Boss in the official Phobies Discord. Now, this is... Boss is part of the team, obviously has the Boss avatar, and you recognize it by the purple name in the official Phobies Discord. And the question was asked, so what's the new level cap for Phobies? Is it level 30? Paraphrasing here. Boss said, we did not ever intend for the levels to cap at 20. They are capped at 30 for now. So, multiple things to pull from that statement. The first one is, well, the first line. They never intended level 20 to be the cap. Now, we've talked about this on many occasions before. I think level 20 is too high. First of all, like, full disclosure, I hate the leveling system. I don't think it should exist. But the defense of the leveling system is that they need to make money. The reality is, and this will lead into a different discussion later on tonight, there aren't that many Phobies in the game. There just aren't. There's 133. That's realistically nothing. Like, that's just... If you compare it to a card game, which Phobies always calls itself a card game, even though realistically it's more of a tactics game, most card games have like 2, 3, and like 200 or 300 or more cards per set. And when they launch, it wouldn't be uncommon to have multiple hundreds of cards. We have an exceptionally low number of Phobies. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure on the back end, both coding-wise, art-wise, the love that went into Phobies is evident. And the effort that goes into Phobies is evident. However, that doesn't change the fact that we don't have that many Phobies. Why does that matter for the leveling discussion? Because they need a way to monetize the game. That's what it boils down to. I don't think there's another reason for it, truthfully. There are arguments that you could make that there's interesting gameplay implications where this Phobie who might be garbage is higher level, therefore it's competitive at your particular rank. I don't buy any of that. I don't agree with those. I could defend those arguments. I'm not going to because I don't agree with them. I think they're bad. I think it is bad in general. Yes, the level cap is now 30, so you could level this thing up. I don't know why it put me all the way down to 5, but you could level this up from 8 to 30 now. I get sad every time I see Chop Bones Morty because I never use it. I keep trying to. I haven't found uses for it yet. But anyway, my issue is I do not think there should be leveling, but I understand why there is. They have a pack system, which is another negative. Now, I come from a card game background. Obviously, I deal with packs a lot. But this really does feel egregious. Like, the compounding factors of the leveling system and the pack system, both for collection and for the upgrades, obviously, the two systems, I think is a net negative. I think it's bad, and I'm surprised. Now, they may have, here's the thing, maybe they had intended, and I've talked about this on many occasions before, that whatever their monetization model, when they drew it up and said, well, this is how we keep the lights on and how we keep Phobies going, as well as pay our people and, you know, whatever, all the business things. And that's the thing you need to remember. Phobie's job is not to make Phobies or make a great game. It's to make you buy stuff. They're a business. That is their number one goal. Making the game and making a good game are ways to make you buy it. And it is in their interest to make a better game because then we are more likely to invest. But at the end of the day, they are a business and it is their job to make money. So that's the issue. And as the consumer, the person playing the game, it's a little bit at odds there, which is the way it is. Like, that's the way it is with everything. But that doesn't mean you have to be happy about it. Trust me. Now, should they change anything? I don't know that they can. I'm sure, as I was alluding to earlier, that whenever they mapped out whatever their expectations were, that they had 30 in mind. Like, I believe them when they say that it was never intended to be 20, and it must have just been either an error that they didn't have time to fix or they didn't want to fix or whatever. Here's one of the other rubs from the statement. They're capped at 30 for now. To me, that implies that there will be future level increases. That's a big sigh moment for me, because to bring it back to the original question that started the discussion, do I think that this stuff is a bit pay to win? Yes. Now, the problem is, or not the problem, let me rephrase that. One of the things to keep in mind is that we have multiple players. There are multiple players in this game who have obviously, like, there is no world, and I'm not trying to beat up on them, but like this person's at level 103. There is no world in which they were grinding that out. It is not, I don't think it's even physically possible to grind that out as free to play, up to given the lifespan of the game. And again, good for them that they're able to, that they want to, they're supporting the game, that whatever, you know, that's what they want to do. Great. But they are playing, like, when you play against them, everybody loves to submit games for reviews against those players because it's like, oh, well, I beat this person that's 80 stress levels higher than me, which, yeah, shout out to you. It's a good accomplishment. So it's not impossible to beat higher stress levels. It's not. The problem is, if say Alien Engineer or Claus or Ryuchi, oh, Vazy. Congrats, Vazy. Vazy's hanging out in the Discord, so Vazy's up here. Take any of the top 10 players. Take any of the top 10 players and give them another 60, like 50 to 60 stress levels. Do you think you're beating these people? I know I'm probably not. I mean, maybe I'll get lucky and they have an off day. Like, they're absolutely hungover or just literally unconscious. Or somebody trips and yanks their Ethernet cable out. Like, that's how I'm beating one of these people if they have 50 levels on me. So, is there a pay-to-win element? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it as bad as people make it sound? No. Well, I won't say never. It almost never is in virtually any game. At least the games that I played. I'm sure some of the gacha games and things like that, it's real bad. Hey, when I trip and yank the Ethernet cable out of my phone, well, I think I found your problem, Lufee. I think I may have found a problem with your setup. So, at the end of the day, yes, pay to win. Yes, I think there are problems on that front. I think that the game needs to be more generous to free-to-play players. Because here's one of the other challenges is that the product isn't really Phobies, and this is a general free-to-play gaming thing. The product is the players. We are the product to Vladimir and Karth, and those other players that have sunk in a bunch of money. And I'm not really a free-to-play player, but the free-to-play players are the product. Those people who sunk in money want to show off and play with their toys, and they need people to do so. If you don't play as the free-to-play player, they will stop spending money and leave because there's no reason for them to do it. There's nothing cool about it if there's no one to play against. So it's this dichotomy for the Phobies developers to try and serve both customer bases and ensure that both are happy. And I think that the raising of the stress level, or excuse me, not the stress level, the phobie level is bad. I think that it should not have been done. I don't think there's nowhere near enough people close to cap. There's nowhere near enough people. Look at the ranks. There are phobies that some of these people are literally not going to see for a calendar year. When I say see, like in their collections. It's just not, I don't know, I'm not a fan of this. I don't like the system to begin with. I understand why it exists. And I'm not going to there's no way they're going to tell me any of the financial information. Not that they should. But I'm not going to get this information, and no one else outside of the developers will. Or outside of the organization, I guess. So, it's very hard to see what benefit there is to the player base in this scenario, truthfully. Cheap is disheartening. I agree. It sucks. Like, I think this is one of the few I'm just kind of down on this change. Now, it feels even worse because it didn't start this way. So if it started at level 30 instead of level 20, probably nobody, like, people would have still complained and been like, oh my god, it's going to take 2 years of grinding. Because somebody had done the math. 100% free to play if you max out every day. I think it takes a calendar year to hit max stress level. I don't know if anybody's calculated what it would take to get every phobie and then max out every phobie. Now, some of them you're just not going to. Like, look, you're not going to level Rusty until the very last one, and I'm confident you won't care. But there's still going to be, like, minimum 100 phobies, probably, that you want leveled and ready to go. Obviously, some of them more than others, but it's going to depend on what your collection allows. I don't know, not a fan. There will be unique hype in finding phobies, but as spectator lol, I wouldn't want to be one of the first people to discover Snowball the week the game came out. Yeah. So, I think Claus was saying in the main Discord that Snowball is one of those ones that it's like, the game changes when Snowball unlocks. Like, the game absolutely changes and becomes a different game. Alright, we'll play a game, speaking of that. How dare you respect the Rusty? Or disrespect the Rusty? It's, Rusty's a thing. So I'm just trying something out, chat. I mentioned earlier, since we did the pack opening earlier this week, I got a whole bunch of new phobies, and I have been forcing them in a lot of games. Like, I've been trying to force a lot of Rocket Man, for example. Just trying different scenarios and throwing a ton of games. Like, I've thrown a ton of games. Which is tilting to a degree, but it is what it is. So what do we do here? If we go to 4 next turn, we can go like Gin Sting or this. So I actually had a cool game offline with this and Spider on this map, actually, and it was pretty cool because, you know, your opponent basically can't go anywhere. I don't think this is what we want. I'm not really sure what we're doing here, truthfully. Moffat Snowball Clinico. It's weird how all the stress unlocks the most game-changing phobies. Yes and no. I mean, they are and they aren't. I know that sounds a little wishy-washy, but the difference is, I think they specifically put those where they were so that way, A, you can onboard people and they aren't just overwhelmed with, oh my god, there's 85 million abilities, what do I do? B, it allows you to ensure that people get specific effects in their games. Like, that you are guaranteed to get a whatever. I can't believe this lived. Ugh. Like, we could get this, but I don't know that we want to. Like, I don't know that this is worth it. We're doing it, but I feel like I'm going to regret it. We're not going to go this because it's really bad into Stabby. At least not yet. How are we fighting this Stabby, though? I don't really like creep here, but I wanted to go something low cost. Yearly stress goals feel impactful. Not sure about Globakira and Foul. Supposedly Foul is pretty good. I've only seen Akira in literally one game. It was a game that was submitted where the person who submitted it beat the Akira. And I've literally never seen Glob. So I have no idea. Oh, it was your game, Smurf? I couldn't remember. So we traded 3 keys for 3 keys, but I don't know that this was worth it, truthfully. Only time I ever saw it. I've seen screenshots, but that's it. I got lucky to learn Rocket Man before Snowball was a thing. I think simply summoning Rocket Man metal boomed opponents back then. There's definitely a lot of that happens. I can agree with that, Lufee, that like there are things that just kind of tilt your opponents to a degree, or like completely knocks them off balance, where they're absolutely unprepared to deal with things. So they can't reach this with Stabby, and there's nothing else that can reach. So I think this is fine. We possibly should have moved this down here. We almost... yeah, we definitely should have. This is doing nothing up here. This is just bad positioning. We could have alternatively put it here. There was no way they were going to take the center, right? It was just not going to happen. So if we go in, we can kill the jar, but we absolutely lose the Murder Wing on the counterattack, because their Murder Wing will come out and meatball it. So the jar here is somewhat safe. They cannot possibly be considering leaving it here. They can't really, like, they could try and invade, I guess. I'm not sure what we want here. I've been spamming a 3-range pull AoE Phobie. It's insane. I forgot you got that, Lufee. And yes, I would imagine that it's absolutely bonkers. Ginseng is kind of a go-to for me. It's just like a comfort pick at this stage. Another Stabby. Yeah, Stabby, I have to imagine, is on the... Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did I miscount this? Because there shouldn't... Yeah. And you can't leave this. Like, this has to come out, because this will die. That will absolutely die. Just make sure you edit the submission, Lufee, rather than delete it. Still upset in our frenemies battle. I'm going to absolutely lose because of losing that many keys because you're Rambolina a tractor. Wait, Rambolina and a tractor? Oh my god. That sounds... mean. That sounds really freaking mean. Oh, man. So they banked to 6 keys. Their stuff is very healthy, but as we already found out, they can't kill anything. We could put a 1 key out here and try and recap this. And then, like... force them to do something? So the idea here is we're just going to run this in to recap the point, put additional pressure on them. They're under 3k health. They're a little over 2,600, so we could just pressure their life total a lot. Like, they're clearly going to be able to kill it, but we can just invade and off whatever happens to go there. Hypothetically, anyway. This would be 4, 9, 14. So we wouldn't quite kill this. That's a spider, though. That's a little scary. Spider could get very dangerous. That's something there, Maximus. That's a little something. I don't really know how to respond to that one. So if they go here, they pull. They could hit it for... So, like... Is this bad? I don't think they can punish this, can they? Because if the spider comes in, it yoinks here. I don't think they can. Because they're just not going to have an angle to get the primate onto anything. I think that's fine. Now, they could pull, like, the Eternal Night, which if they do, okay, I'm just going to annihilate your spider. Now, this could be bad. That's a 1,600 health spider, though. Let's see if we can do mean things to it. My guess is no. Alright, I stand corrected. So if we... Like, is this worth it? Because if we go here, like, we're going to lose this and this and this. I think we just retreat, truthfully. I was debating too much and dirtling too much. So the idea here is that, like, they'll go in, they'll yoink something, but they have to stand on this. Well, they could get this, I guess. So now we kill the spider. You think you fixed your name, Pork Pork? What do you mean? We could have killed the spider, yes, but then the murder wing dies, plus the eternal night dies, and the creep dies. The way we did this, only the creep dies, which may not be good enough. Nope, that isn't. Whoop, that's the wrong guy. So this should have already been in position this turn, and we would have been able to actually fight them. But I botched it last turn. Pterodactyl? Yeah, exactly. I meant to do the pterodactyl last turn, but then I just screwed it up. Just screwed it up last turn. So they're at 1200 health. I'm very tempted, in all seriousness, to just dive and go face. Could have undone, attacked the pterodactyl on the stem, and then Murderwing and Ginsting would have killed the spider? Possibly, yeah. I think we probably had it if we did that. I don't know that this is really what we want to do, but I'm trying to be aggressive about it just because I want to. So they kill this, they move up, they yoink. They probably kill the Ginsting. Like, they probably kill these three. And it'll come down to where they're positioned. Should have had the pterodactyl up one space so they could threaten face right now. They were allergic to one keys, that is true. They weren't really a big fan of them. Wait a second. Can we... No, we can't kill the spider and get something on there. Just kill the primate. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I just couldn't... I was hoping we could get it with just the murder wing and then allow me to, like, reposition this, but I guess it doesn't matter. What we should have done was actually put the pterodactyl on this Yeah, they can still get it. So they move the spider here first. Oh, no, they can't. They can't. Never mind. I mean, we still just blow up the spider, retake the point, and then ball game, folks, but, you know. We almost found a way to throw. We almost found a way to throw, but GG. GG. Alright, Onda. So we're up against Ryuchi here with Onda. So we're zoning in against, right now, I think Ryuchi is top of the ladder. I think Ryuchi is the #1 arena player. You know, it's the usual suspects that keep fighting each other to try and get into different places. But Onda opened with something that I saw from, it might have been Ryuchi going second on this map, and I actually really like it. That is the Hevo plus the 1, so that it protects this spot. Like, you can't take that, Hevo will just kill it. Which, it isn't a big deal. It's just trying to minimize your opponent's board presence. But, obviously, assuming it was Ryuchi, they probably have a good idea on what they can or can't do against this. So we get a Jin Sting, bunch of 1s, and a Jar. The Jar clearly locking off a good swath of the map from that stim. So here's the big question. A 508 Jar from Ryuchi with a 533 damage. Point is that this is a dead Jar if this snowball can get in range, which, as we've seen throughout the, I was going to say the history of Phobies. That makes it sound way more illustrious and longer than it probably is. But as we've seen through the course of Phobies, that trading a Murder Wing for a Jar is often very efficient, and I imagine Snowball will be the same, especially since you get the dimensional effect of Snowball to displace your opponent's whatever kills it in the trade. We do have a panic point advantage going blue, which is not good for our hero here in the orange trunks. I guess that's a second-guessing the Snowball movement. Fair, fair. But we do get a Klepto, another staple on not just this map, but many maps. So we have a 2-to-1 lobber advantage for our orange player. But the 1-drops are getting picked off. The 1-drops are getting picked off, and Contortio is going to replace the Razor Mouth and reconverts the panic points to blue. That's kind of as foretold by our ancestors. Exactly, Lufee. Exactly. Now, obviously, these 1-drops are not long for the world, but in the meantime, because of Ryuchi's panic point advantage, they have banked to 10 keys, whereas Onda has chosen to just loop. Like, hold on. Is Snowball, like, chasing its tail here? Like, is it really doing dog things? Or stereotypical dog things? Which, for the record, I don't think I've had a lot of dogs in my life. You know, I had dogs as far back as I can remember as a kid. See, like, it's chasing its tail. It's just going in a loop. It could have just gone down, but it looped around. Like, why did that happen? But I've never had a dog that, like, chased its tail. It's like, yes, a dog will chase its tail and bite because it has an itch or something. You know, like there was a bug or whatever. But I've never had a dog that just, like, chases its tail like you'd see in a cartoon or something. I don't know. Needs his exercise. Yeah, he's just doing lap. He's going for walkies. Gotta flex the dog. Exactly. He's just going for walkies, right? Look, exercise is important for our furry friends as well. Keep that in mind. Anyway, in the meantime, we get a Klepto invade as I break away from the canine discourse. We get a takedown on the Jar. Now, this is pretty aggressive because you're going to get 5 hits here. It's going to be Crushmore, 2 Hevos, and 2 Jin Stings. And only the Jin Sting will be in range, so I guess the thought here is trade Hevo for Jar and Jin Sting. And the Spider repositions. So we never got that Snowball to Jar connection. Lufee once got a heart attack when I'm doing it with Hevo. since Onda's here in chat, we're doing this live on the Twitch stream, which, by the way, if you want to see some live Phobies action, head on over to RTChompGG over on Twitch if you're catching this on YouTube. Or hit up the Discord in the description. But, Onda, do you, like, move things around like that just to like, play Jedi mind games with people? Oh, wait, time out. I have to ask, finish the question, like, are you Jedi mind tricking people just by looping things around? Or what? So, in the meantime, we get your favorite and mine. It's Beast. Or Beauty, I guess, depending on how you prefer. Soon to be nerfed, or at least the time of this recording. We'll see when it happens. So we do get the Klepto. Just going in, getting some spread, but it's getting the hell out of dodge. Understandable. And we get a Smiley. So Smiley is an interesting answer to the Beauty. Mostly because I expect it to never connect. Now, we do have a orange panic point advantage. And due to our orange player backing off, it is possible that they're going to be able to, you know, they get to play the come to me game a little bit. Except, like, this cowbell is not long for the world. This panic point will go blue in short order. And now we're even all of a sudden. Ooh, a Clinico. Clinico to erase a bunch of damage on that Jin Sting. Ouchtown population orange player. So 3-3, a healthy blue board versus a healthy orange board. There hasn't been too much heart damage. And we get a Erratic. Definitely one of my favorites. Spin the dog, create a Matic field, and poop the Evo. That's a good strategy. It's actually just this time I'm doing that. I believe it can distract people. It is a funny mind game. It is a funny mind game. Alright, so we get the Flying V formation here from our blue player with a follow-up Siege Breaker, or maybe not Siege Breaker, excuse me, Stalemate Breaker in Gonzo Bonzo. Gonzo Bonzo is generally pretty scary. This is bold. I'm not counting this up because I refuse to do that anymore. And we get a Blondie follow-up, but like either the Spider... Okay, so the Spider pulls back. The Erratic could die. It would take an enormous dive from our blue player, but like, it is possible. Oh, we get a little dance in action coming from our blue player. And the last thing to show up on the blue side is Bo Mangles. It feels like we have the whole carnival here. It feels like Gonzo Bonzo is a toy you would buy at a carnival, right? Smiley probably will never connect, but Beauty won't be able to attack anything that's Smiley next to it. Also true, Mosca, that's fair. Using Smiley, so let me actually call that out, because that is a good thing to call out, so thank you, Mosca. The Beauty sitting next to stuff, or excuse me, the Smiley sitting next to stuff means that the AoE from Beauty should not, like, those things are not immune or invulnerable, but obviously you don't want to get it diseased. So I think that's actually pretty cool. Finally home from work, bless, a 17-hour day, good lord. Well, I appreciate you hanging out. But I would say get some rest. So we're getting the great repositioning. I imagine the Blondie's gonna lead the charge, but we'll see. And we get a Crushmore break here. Ryuchi's setting up the concave. So shout out to my RTS fans. Here's the concave. Like, look at this. How do you commit into this? Yeah, drink some water is right. Shotgun this bang? I honestly have no idea what that is, Lufee. I imagine it's an energy drink, which honestly... Where you work, spaceship? That would be pretty cool. So are we just going to stare at each other? Onda, were you the person in Discord who had that 200-plus turn game? Which, by the way, seriously, if you're watching this on YouTube, we actually had somebody talking about a 200-plus turn game on this map. Filled, like, the whole map with freeze traps from Jeeves. It was obnoxious. I really hope they don't submit that game to be reviewed. I'm just going to click through it. Anyway. Alright, so we get the mechanical Phobie softening up the Smiley. Now, we don't see the Smiley acting as the escort, so I don't know if that was going through Onda's mind at the time or not, but We might be able to see a... Can we kill Beauty here? This is 2400. This will be 1800. 23. I don't think this is a dead Beauty. It's very close, but I don't think it's dead. Nope. We would have seen it dead. But we do get... Oh, no. Look at this Blondie hit. About that concave. About that concave. Shout out to the Blondie MVP. Remember those other games we reviewed earlier? Those other games we reviewed earlier where I was like, oh, well, there was just a kind of, a series of mistakes. It was a minor thing here, and they lost Phobie, a minor positioning error there, and then, like, they chose the wrong Phobie or this. Blondie just took over this game, puts Onda on its back, and it looks like it's going to carry him over the finish line with this one. So everything repositions, and they can back off, but, like, that Blondie hit was savage, because now the dive, I don't want to say it's unpunishable, but... Weaken Ryuchi's Phobie's damage is worth it to me. I can raid. Yeah, exactly. Like, this was great. That was great positioning with the getting that Blondie hit. So this is the last turn. We got a pull here. Does this Hevo just die? Oof. Because remember, Blondie has almost 3k health. And these things are just not doing a lot of damage. They're just not. And there's no more room to retreat, basically. This is the last turn of the game. Obviously, there must have been a concession that came in. This was pretty cool. Like, that Blondie hit was awesome. That's got to go in the highlight reel. I got to remind myself. I got to write that down. Hold on. I made, if you haven't seen it, I put a highlight reel, and by a highlight reel, I know I have the highlights from the stream, but there's a highlight reel video that's just like 3 minutes long of cool plays. So I want to keep track. You want me to make clips? I mean, clips could help, yeah. Clipping it would be great. Well, you go back to it because, like, this is a clippable one. I think it's one turn from now. I think this is the... Wait, no, these are still powered down. We might have to go out and go back in to really see it. Seems like an easy way. That's probably a good way, yeah. So yeah, this invade here, if this is the turn. No, this isn't the turn. We're almost ready. We're almost ready. We're getting there. So we get the beauty reposition. We get a shot here with an AoE. And then we just get repositioning from everything else. We get a concave setup trying to expect the invade here. And this seems like it's a pretty cool position. Like, this seems like it's a cool position, and then, oh no! Look at this Blondie hit! Look at this Blondie hit! 1, 2, 3, 4 Phobies, and all of a sudden... What are they doing? Nothing. Nothing. Like, that is just brutal! That is just absolutely brutal, chat. This was a cool game. Shout out to Onda for this one. This one was pretty cool. I like it. You love to see it. Alright, chat. We'll do one more game review, and then I want to take a quick break, get some more water. I gotta get up, stretch my legs a little bit. I don't want to also cook down here, because I'm roasting a little bit. Roasting a little bit. Alright, we got a Lufee game. We got a Lufee game. Got a Lufee game. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what we got. Let me get chat back up. How long to stream? I'll be on for a couple more hours, a few more hours. I usually stream until 11 p.m. Eastern, or -4 GMT, I think, right now. Depends on the tilt. Yes, if I tilt, I'll be going longer, that's for sure. Alright, so who are you playing against, Lufee? The good old Lufee. Nuclear Cider. That sounds dangerous. Oh no! Lufee. Why did this break? This was after the update. That sucks. Womp wah. No new phobies. So it must have been... So what was the other game then, Lufee? The Hall W game? Alright, we'll do the Hall W. Oh, we're on a new map! Okay, chat. So, if you weren't aware, and by the time this goes up on YouTube, these maps are probably already going to be in rotation, but for a brief moment, maybe a couple hours, I don't exactly know how long, after the patch released, you were able to challenge people in frenemies on the new maps. You're able to challenge in frenemies on the new maps, and this is one of the new maps. I don't remember the name, but you can see where, and I talked about this in the, either in the trailer breakdown or when we did the pack opening, which, by the way, you can see those on the other videos. Hit up the Phobies playlist. But you can see the Easter Island references. We get some healing spas on this map. I don't know if you can boot people off. Like, I don't know if these are abysses or it's just, you know, whatever, but we'll see. Notice the key locations with heart locations. So here are the vaults. And then you have to go all the way up here. This is kind of like Opticon or Big House, but bigger. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panic points, 2 of which can be easily contested. Like if you're at their heart, you're not getting reinforcements. Yeah, you have to like cross the entire map to get here. So we'll have to see how this plays out. I'm very excited. So we get a Murder Wing opener. This kind of makes sense going first from Hall W. You just take this point relatively easily. And then I imagine this cat is just beelining for the top. So if you have 3-move Phobies, your Dronies, your Snowballs, your Rambolinas, that sort of thing, probably going to be at an advantage up here on this map. We get a bunch of 1 cost so far from Lufee. Now, I'm sure both players were just kind of screwing around in this game, but we'll see. That first Murder Wing move is really strong, it seems. I would kind of agree. It seems like it. This map looks made for heart users. You mean people that are diving heart, Jenna? Or you mean people that are trying to leverage their heart as a resource? Basically, I just wanted to use the new Phobie with the only combo I could think of without Abyss. Okay. So we get a Gravedigger here, which seems like it would be a good play, either opening up plays for yourself or creating obstacles to lock your opponent out. And we get an Erratic follow-up. I'm not a huge fan of Erratic here, but I have to keep scrolling out because this map is just humongous. Now, part of it's the way it looks, so that they get this other, you know, visual on the sides. The map is probably not, I'd have to count it, but maybe it's not much bigger than the big maps we already have. I don't know. But we have tied up the panic points here. Wait, can you go around back here? Are these legal spaces? They don't look like it. I doubt it. And we get a Blanky. So we have the Armada starting to grow from our blue player. And that Erratic is just inching its way up. Thanks to the Gravedigger, it was able to open up this spot. And now we have a panic point advantage orange. But obviously the cat's going to swing in. This will get eliminated. The only question is, I don't think that our blue player can reclaim center safely. Because this is just too much. There's too many things that are going to die. I think it's really cool, like they have a skybox you can look at, but I wish you could zoom out more. Yeah, exactly. I wish that there was a way, and I mentioned this before in replays, just let me, like, pin the zoom that I'm at, so it doesn't, like, keep moving in and out as effects happen. Is that the only not symmetrical map? Is it not symmetrical? Well, I mean, the panic points aren't, I guess. I mean, they kind of are, because if you draw the line vertically... Because Because remember, all this stuff up here is irrelevant. Like, you can't go up there, I assume. So we do get one of the new Phobies. Whoop. This is what Lufee was talking about, because Lufee's in chat. We have a Noxious down here as well, but we have a Tractor. This is the Yoink Phobie. It's an AoE Yoink, which seems bonkers. The tiles you move on are symmetrical, yes. All of them are. We were talking about that with respect to Ergo, because it looked like there was a space on one side that was not on the other, that was occupiable. But that's not actually true. You have to be in the... Like, you... the maps are symmetrical as far as gameplay area is. So we have multiple polls now, and I can kind of see where this game is going. Like, what Lufee's trying to set up. This area that's been opened up by our orange player makes a lot of sense. Now, I'm not a huge fan necessarily of this, because the Noxious could spit on both of these, but there is a healing spot right there, so I guess that's fine. We get an invade on Erratic, which seems weird. Oh no, not like this. No, not like this. Is this a dead Erratic? Oh no, that is absolutely... I mean, even if you didn't have the Yoinks, like, that's a huge amount of splash. So we get the pull. Now remember, this thing does basically 0 damage. But this repositions everything, so Erratic is healing an enormous amount. It's getting splash onto all this stuff. It's doing extra damage to the Hevo. Oh no. Get a little chop action. Get a jar to finish off the dragon. So the only thing that survives the massacre that just happened is Blinky. Yeah, Erratic is going to leech so much is right. It's up to 1,400 health. That's monster kill. I need the announcers from, like, Jesus, what is that game? Well, actually, I want the announcers from Killer Instinct. Uh-oh, we do have a dozer, but honestly... Well, the Erratic goes down, but I think we got the value. 90% sure Hall W did that to let me do the play. It could be. It could be. That Blinky had seen something. It saw it all. That's why its eyes are so wide. It can't unsee it. Unreal Tournament. Yes, thank you. I couldn't think of it. I haven't played that game in forever. A real bad trade? Yeah, it didn't quite work out. But I do the play. That wasn't the play you planned on, Lufee? I mean, technically, you could have just zapped everything with the Erratic anyway. So I guess it was better what you did, but... Oh, there's the Rocket Man. The Lufee special. Blinky having deep trauma seeing his friend die like that? Yeah. That's... Is this off Fright Night? No, this is just a frenemies game. We'll be talking about Fright Night plans later on tonight. Alright, so we got a Barzilla follow-up. Only one remaining key for our blue player. Only one remaining key for our blue player. We get the block. You love to see it when it's them one-move Phobies. Lufee does love him some Rocket Man. It's true. I've seen it. There's video proof. So we're getting everything inching up. We got double poles. We got the Rocket Man. We got a Lobber here. And we still have 6 keys in the bank for the good old Rocket Master over here. All W playing a little defensive because, you know, only 3 Phobies remaining. By the way, a Tractor cooldown only 1 turn. I'm not looking forward to seeing this thing a lot. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of worries me. Gravedigger repositioning, getting a little undead, smashing undead action. I mean, to be fair, catch me on Xylo with a tractor. Oh my god, it's going to be bonkers. Who was asking about Xylo in Discord the other day? It is a 6 key, but this feels like a lot of power in 6 keys. And the tractor just keeps getting spookier? You're right. You are correct. So we get a freeze or a puke on the Rocket Man. It's not really a freeze, but, you know. Now, the thing is all of these Phobies, like, this is a level 4. It has 1,000 health. That's not that much. It's enough to be concerning, though. Like, it's going to be difficult. I feel like you need 3 attacks on it. Which is easier said than done. We're beating up on the Dozer here. It's going to take like 6 years to kill this thing. Maybe not. Maybe we just kill it right now. And then there was one. All the panic points are orange. We know where this one's going. Love how goofy... Everything about Rocket Man is goofy. His walk, the idle, his attack. His attack is ridiculous. It's also very good, by the way. Like, it's a good attack. Get more pulls. I see the play you wanted to set up. I like it. I like it. You get the baton pass. It's like a relay race. Just, you know, you're moving your opponent's guys. It's not really anything like a relay race, but it was the first thing I could think of. I did the pull on the heart to get the angle. You can target the heart with the pull. That is not surprising, but not something that I probably would have considered. That's pretty cool, because it's an ability, it does damage, it's going to need to be able to target something. So, well played. Well played, that's something cool to keep in mind. Alright, so we're on Opticon. I'm not a humongous fan of this map. I don't really like it. I actually like Phobopolis a lot more, and up until that game, I think I was undefeated on Phobopolis. At least as far as Arena goes. I don't really... I've talked about this before. I don't count any of my async games, which sounds a little silly, but I just don't care about async. I really should, because I should try and focus more, because, you know, you have the opportunity. I'm not streaming the async games, but I don't know. It's toned down from the 100 plus temperature outside. It was too weak. Jeez. 100 plus is just gross. So I'm not sure why they went away from the jar. That's fine, I guess. So this will be able to snipe this, because it'll just go on the stem. Which means we don't get, like, a bonkers start here. This actually isn't enough damage to kill this, because it's 1,036. Yeah, we're not going to have enough damage to actually kill the stupid thing, so we're not going to get involved there. I think we still go Pterodactyl. It's just a question of where we position it. This means it still only gets hit once and is out of range. They can... out of range of the stem, so they're going to have to advance in some fashion. The statue map before feels like Opticon, but with different panic point placements. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I used to like Opticon more. I'm not sure. Alright, so they're just advancing a spider, which is a little obnoxious, because we're going to have to back off. I have an intense craving for something sweet right now. Maybe I'm just hungry. It's allowed. I'm not a big person for sweets myself. I don't know. I've never really been a... Like, there's some candy that I like. After I was diagnosed with diabetes, obviously, a lot of that stuff went out the window. But I was never big for ice cream or candy or stuff like that. It was just kind of whatever. So if we do this, they go in here, yoink, we end up here. That shouldn't really impact us too much. We do want to get Hevo 3.0 online on this map as well. Obviously, the lobs are significant. Do we want to do it now, though? I guess. So we're just replacing the 1-drops. The problem is not getting the Hevo this turn means that we're going to... Like, they're going to see it coming. We can't just pop out a spawn and then crap on them. We have to position it, and it's going to give them an opportunity to react. Oh, this is unfortunate. I'm big on salt. Give me that... Yeah, I put way too much salt on my food. I really need to cut back on it overall. I thankfully don't have any problems yet, but I imagine my salt consumption will be an issue long term. Alright, so we're going to get that Hevo online. I kind of want to just snipe this jar. I don't know if we're going to get the opportunity, but we'll see. So we're positioning this here just so they can't recap that point immediately. The pterodactyl position is fine, air quotes. Like, we could advance it and, what, put a shot on the cat? That doesn't really do anything for us. It does mean that it's in range of the Hevo immediately, but... Alright, so they take the easy panic point, that's fine. So we should be able to kill the cat, and then kill the jar. Because we collapse down with the pterodactyl. The question is, are we going to get the Hevo killed? Okay, so that changes it a lot. I don't know that we want to do this. We're going to get a hit for 1,000. 14, 2, 3, here. Yeah, we don't want to do that. We're just risking the cat dying. Trade some 1-drops there. Speaking of 1-drops, we'll muffin. So if we go to 6, we can get a Crushmore online, which I think we want to do. So that means we need to do a 5 or less. If we went something like Gin Sting, that means that we can... 80... We're going to go Gin Sting. So not going Jar means that this cat is going to live and gets another hit onto the Hevo, which is obnoxious because that's a not insignificant hit. And maybe we would have been better off just going Clinico. We're getting a lot of our stuff cleared out here. Oh, they're not going in with the cat. That's interesting. Pole is still live? Okay, there's the pole. And that allows this to go in, I guess? So if we swing down to the bottom, we're in range of the jar with the Hevo. If we go to the top, yes, we can get pulled. But I doubt they're dealing 2,400. We're clearly going to kill this with the pterodactyl, right? Because I wanted to lay down some more heat on the Blanky. Uh-oh, what happened? That was weird. So this is 1,000. We'll say 1,100, 1,400, 15, 16, 1,700, roughly. I don't know that it's worth going after that. How much does Pterodactyl have? Mine has 1,936. It's a level 8. So they bank to 11. I'm not really sure what they're doing. I don't know if we want the Gin Sting there either. So that's 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. If they do that, we kill just about everything. So I think we're okay with that as a bait. I don't really like doing this. I wanted another one to recap a point, but I don't know that that's really where I want to go with it. So we might have been able to instead, if we dove this, we could have gone 9 and 5 is 40. We actually could have killed this, now that I think about it. We could have... We swing the Hevo here. The Gin Sting could have come up here, and then the Pterodactyl comes down. We ignore the cat. Like, we killed the cat over the Blinky. That was a stupid play. Like, that was a bad play. It's a brony. Ugh. What's the range on this? Yeah, Brony's not good news. Brony seems bad. I know this is gonna get this hit, but we're just gonna... So if you go here, you pull... Like, there's no way to stop it. You go here, and it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is about as... Whoop, no, we don't want to move there. That's about as spread as we can get. I don't know how the hell we deal with this thing, truthfully. I don't know. The Brony's going to make life super complicated. So we do have a panic point advantage, but they're going to turn off multiple things. Now, the spider poison will still go through, which is relevant. So if they activate this, this should not hit the Jin Sting. Okay. Well, if you Scritch, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much damage it's doing, it just deactivates it entirely. It's not just a power down. Alright, so this I didn't expect. I should have, but... See, that should still get it. 1, 2... 3. Oh, no. That's a 4th space. So that's really bad. I was counting on this still being alive. So even if we buff the damage, it just won't work? Correct. Correct. Now, I still get the fire damage here, but that obviously... Because, like, here, look. I'm at 0 damage, but I'm standing on the stem. I'm still going to deal 0. Exactly. It prevents the damage. It doesn't decrease. Oh my god, no! I didn't mean... that's just gonna die. This just goes in and kills it. That was stupid. Wait, why didn't this die? I thought that was dead! Oh, good lord. Oh, I thought the Jin Sting was dead. Yeah, disease and poison are unaffected by it. So here's the other thing about Brony. Like, it's gonna wear off for them first. I wanted the jar, but it needed to be back here. Like, this is stupid. There was no reason for me to do this. Ugh. It's also frustrating that this is still alive. So I guess we're trying to wait out the Brony, but they have 10 keys remaining, by the way, which I didn't notice. We're gonna lose to what's on board, and they still have 10 keys remaining. Oof. That's a high five. We can't really do anything about. Or it's an alligator. And a Clinico. We don't have the damage to fight this. Like, we straight up don't have the damage. 5, 6, 7. So that means this is dead. This is a pretty high-level alligator, but yeah, we don't have the damage to actually kill anything. I don't think. So the spider can poison whatever the hell it wants. Like, getting it on either of these is pretty relevant. And they could take a 5-to-1 panic point advantage, and again, I don't think we can... We actually pulled the Hevo back too far. It should have been here. The reason being is then if they take this point with the alligator, we can hit it twice. But we just need to pick off everything that we can before Brony comes back online, which is going to be soon. But the spider pole is going to be back online, which means that whatever goes up there is going to die. Six and 5 is 11. We could actually send the pterodactyl here and be okay. Sort of. Like, do we send the pterodactyl? Brony ability is on a long cooldown, but I need to chase their stuff down in the meantime. If I don't get a kill soon, we're in trouble. I don't know if we want pterodactyl there. I think we do, but I'm not 100% positive. So the problem is that the pterodactyl will then just be supremely fragile. I think what they're doing is they just retreat towards Brony with everything and, like, continue to back off. I'm playing pretty safe, or they are, Lufee? I mean, obviously they are. I could commit, like, the Jin Sting to here, but then it gets pulled and poisoned and, like, it will die. I feel like Terra could have gotten middle, and if it gets pulled plus 3 hits, it can't be stepped on. You're saying this top middle? Possibly. But I think we can just take it now and it's fine. So they pull. This goes there. This moves up. So 3, 11, 15. I don't think they can kill this. 16. Like, they might be able to, but I don't think so. Brony has one more turn before cooldown, and then we're in trouble. So that's 890. Or what am I saying? 8. Yeah, 890. We'll say 9, 12, 16. I don't think they can kill the pterodactyl. If they can, then alright, you got me, I lose. The next turn they can brony again, which means we have to back off, like far. Honestly, I thought we were just dead after the first brony. We managed to survive it, but I don't know that we can survive two. Like, because we have to really retreat. We can't be anywhere near anything. We could try to invade and snipe something. So, like, if we snowball here, it's like 700 plus this, but then we only have these three that are live. Okay, they're not going to allow that anyway. I don't think this is worth it. One, two, three. So the spider can't reach this turn. Their spider, I mean. The brony can go here, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't think they can hit it. Isn't it worth killing Blinky? I mean, that guy's going to run out of damage. I don't know. I think we lose everything on the return because they brony 3 different things. And then just collapse. Like, I think I'd give up all the panic points then. Which I guess maybe would have been fine. I thought I was lower health. This might have been a mistake. Because now this thing is basically dead. You have to body block the brony or I yoink it. Okay. I guess Maximus? Alright, so Brony's dead, the Blinky's dead. We're gonna lose the spider and the Gin Sting for sure. At least I think it's for sure. GG, we'll find out. We'll see if I can find a way to throw. Ah. My own fire does my spider in. Just rush hard. I'm trying to get there. I'm working on it. So Bees is down. Meaning they can only hit this once. Hit the Murder Wing once, because they can't hit it with the Gator. The Lufee way. I mean, we have 5 panic points. We have the Phobie quantity advantage. We have an AoE. Like, we should... They're at 1100 health. Chat, we managed to survive the Brony. We managed to survive the Brony, chat. I honestly, I swear to God, I was not trying to play it up. I thought that game was done. But we managed to pull it out. Managed to pull it out. GG. So, what are my thoughts on the new alien phobies? I like a lot of them. I'm a little concerned about some of them. Like, we talked about them in the pack opening video. Can't wait for the third. I gotta figure out what we're doing, but we will get it up and running. I feel like it'd make more sense if Chuck just chucked a big rock, because his arm regenerating kind of seems if he regenerates HP. To a degree, I think it's more... Like, yes, it's a little bit of a flavor fail, kind of. If you assume that his arm is part of his base HP, as opposed to being his weapon, I guess. But I think it's more the rule of cool. Like, it just looks cool, so we're gonna do it. But as far as the alien phobies go, I like a lot of them. I like the visual designs. I think a lot of them are more niche. Well, we got it, like, maybe half of them are niche, because, like, Tickles is pretty decent. Actually, Tickles is probably fine in general. I think Boomer's somewhat niche. Obviously, Squiggles is kind of niche. What other ones? This is ignoring the stress ones, because we don't even know what the other stress ones are beyond the dragon. Because there's only, like, 2 players that were even in range, Karth and Vladimir, and I think only one of them has gotten it so far. These are the ones that scare me, the 3-range ones. Not the 3-range attacker, but, like, the 3-range boop and the 3-range pull. Because they're both AoE. Now, I imagine the team tested it and they felt that it's okay. It's just like, those are scary. Graylian's pretty cool. I think it's just mostly going to be cool because of meme things. Bluelian, I haven't seen in client yet, but I like Bluelian a lot. We'll have to see how it plays out. But yeah, I'm pretty positive about most of them. Looks like Honda's going to join the 3rd Fright Night. Nice. Nice. We're growing. We're up against Claws. Like, the game should not... I understand the technical limitations, but the game absolutely should not penalize you for surrendering. I actually don't play enough, to be honest. Like, when I first started out playing Phobies, I was playing it a lot, but when I'm not streaming it, I'm basically not playing Phobies. I've started to play it more recently, and it's not because I don't want to play Phobies. Like, don't interpret it that way. It's because I don't want to burn out and, like, overdo it kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure I'm, like, 20 levels under Claws, and Claws is also a strong player, so, like, this is not going to go very well. I had to think, because you do a lot of reviews and editing now, news and all, I want to see it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would hit my caps way more easily if I played more games on stream. Like, that's the big problem, is that I end up, or it's not a problem, but, like, it is the major factor that I just can't play as many games, because I'm doing reviews and other stuff. You have to watch How the good players do it? Yeah, exactly, Doc. We're actually going to take this one because it causes more of an issue, because it flips, like, it takes one away from them as well as giving us one. Oh my god, this is a level 12 Bowmangles. How the hell am I going to fight this? I really don't want to do something ridiculous like Thunder Rocks. Obviously, Snowball is going to be a threat to our Jar if we go with that, so I don't really want to do that. This could get spit on by the Snowball. Actually, yeah, this was stupid, because this I didn't double check the Snowball damage. This is probably just a free Eternal Night kill for them. 540. Not quite. It'll just live. So we'll say that was calculated. We might be able to kill this Bowmangles. Yeah, we can kill this Bowmangles. That seems weird. Now, they're going to punish us for it, and maybe that's the plan? Because it's a key positive trait in their favor, because I would lose Cassowary and the Knight. Alright, they banked to 6. That's a little scary. I think we still have to take this. Like, we can't just not do it, right? I don't know that softening this up is worth it, but I imagine they're going to focus these. A Klepto could come out. A Klepto would be kind of bad. But yeah, a Klepto is problematic here. Lufee has grown too powerful. Alright, so it's Hematic Gin Sting, which is, you know, similar. I don't know how we fight that, truthfully. Alright, that's fair. The problem is we're not doing an enormous amount of damage to our opponent. You know, like, we're not pressuring them a huge amount. Point being is that we're not threatening their heart in an incredibly significant way. I don't know if this is going to work the way I want it to. In fact, it is. So this means that this will live, which I don't know if that's worth it. Should have grabbed the top point with Razor earlier. We didn't really have an opportunity to. It ended up down here reclaiming this point, and then has never really had the opportunity to swing back up. 1600 health, huh? I don't know that we really want Crushmore. I kind of just want to use it. What the better option probably would have been a Gin Sting and a 2-drop. Cash could have gotten the bottom point? Possibly, yeah. I don't remember the board state. So obviously the 1 keys are going to die. I mean, clearly, right? But yeah, if we had all 3 points at any given stage, then yes, we would have been pressuring an enormous amount more, and we would have seen a different reaction out of our opponent. See, this is also weird. Like, why did it pull it up as opposed to the side? I don't think it really matters, because we're still going to kill this. Alright, so they elect to get rid of the cat. Makes sense. I think we still go for this. We get the first hit. There isn't really a great way for them to get on us. We have 9 keys to their 10 keys. Their bees is up. Like, my immediate thought is to go Murder Wing or Jar. But I don't know that that's actually what we want. Yeah, I think... Well, the problem with Stabby to Heart is that Stabby then dies to this thing. I don't think they're low enough that it matters right now. Like, Stabby just dies to this. I don't think they're low enough to pressure it in that way yet. Because, like, we could do it this turn. Bring the Crushmore down. Bring the Stabby down. Bring the Jar down. And see? But I kind of feel like we're better off just killing their stuff. Or not, we get there. GG. We got him. We actually got a win, chat. It's a Christmas miracle. Oof. That one was scary. That one was scary, I'm not gonna lie. Block the path? So I do want to go back and look, because I'm curious about both what DT's pointing out and what Onda is saying. GG beat Claws. It happens every once in a while. It's rare. I think Claws has had my number a lot. So the one thing we wanted to look for was the cat. So Claw's turn is this. This is my turn. So clearly Stabby takes the center, right? The cat could have gone here, but it would have died. So if the cat goes up here, they spit on it with this and then whack it with Bachelor, and then it dies. Because this is a fairly high level snowball. It's a level 11 snowball. Now the Eternal Night, honestly, like, this could have been the game here, because I didn't count... Like, I wanted the Eternal Night for extra damage on the Bowmangles, but the Snowball could have hypothetically killed this thing. We just lucked out that my Eternal Night barely outlevels it. And then from there, I don't think the cat had another opportunity to swing to the top. But then you have 3 points all guarded by Stabby. The problem is that I think they just dive the Stabby. So, like, on this turn... So I have Cassowary down here and Cat up here. So they kill the cat. They bring Bowmangles in because they did that anyway. Maybe that would have been fine, too. Because they only have 3 keys, so, like, what do they supplement with? Like, how do you... So, if we assume that Snowball's here, Bachelor's here, the thing is, they can reclaim this top point with Bachelor, we'll say trivially. Bachelor can't get one shot by our Eternal Night. So then it's a 2-to-1 panic point advantage instead of 2-to-0. This actually is better than 2-to-1. But that Bachelor could have swung to the top at some point anyway. Honestly, I get the sense Claws was probably just screwing around, but I do think that moving the cat to the top has merit. I really like pressure. I think that is correct, DT. I think having aggressive stances on Red Rum is important. And we did have a bully position because we were going first. We already had the turret here, which made life complicated. My idea was to have Cass recap the bottom point. Well, yes. Yes, so it would have been 3-0. For now. And then what I'm suggesting is they come up, they kill the cat, recap the top with Bachelor, and then it's 2-1. The way this worked out is since Claws did not swing to the top, it was 2-0 for a very long time, which gave us extra damage compared to the 2-1. But we would have had that turn, or maybe multiple turns, with a 3-0. I think there's merit to that. I think there's merit to sending the cat up here. I was trying to preserve it and protect the center, and I figured 2-0 was good enough. But I'm not sure. And then Ando was saying, come block the path, like drop it down here, I guess. I mean, we didn't make it beyond that, but not impossible. Yeah, this map's somehow so hard to take back the panic points. Honestly, I kind of want to do a map tier list of, like, because this was something that came up within the context of the balance patch as far as, like, beauty goes. And, like, what phobies would you balance? Or rebalance? And the funny thing is, I wonder if the answer is not to rebalance the phobies and just rebalance the maps. Which sounds weird. I have to imagine everybody is wondering why the hell would you say that. But on certain maps, I really think that it is somewhat problematic. So, for example, Crypto. If the big issue is beauty and Blastomatic on this map, which I don't know if other people have solved the puzzle, but a lot of people complain about beauty on this map. Maybe you rework the map. Because is beauty a problem on other maps? Probably, yes. But I think that there's arguments to be made that despite the symmetry, the map can favor certain phobies to an unhealthy degree. But I think that Crypto is one that could justify getting changed. Chat saying floor is lava. It's not in the rotation, so I'd have to pull it up, but like a black hole that only sucks in chocolate. Is Floor's Lava the triangle map where there's, like, it's a small one with a triangle of lava at the bottom? No, Floor's Lava is that hyper-aggressive one that looks like Big House. I don't mind that map, but I feel like that one is... Yeah, and there's a third line attack. You're absolutely right, DT, going back to Crypto. But Floor's Lava, I think, is too aggressive. It really... I would love to see the win rates. Like, does it favor player one in an enormous amount? Because it feels like it does. It feels like it does. But yeah, the maps, I think... So here's the way I look at it. If you play an RTS like StarCraft or Warcraft, they have symmetrical maps as well. A lot of the one-player maps are just symmetrical. Now, some of them are weird shapes and different things, but there are other factors of the map that play into it. Namely, you know, we're going to talk StarCraft for a second. If there's a lot of empty space behind someone's base, like StarCraft is in space, right? So it's a space station map. And if there's a bunch of empty space behind someone's base where your workers are, you can sneak flying units in there and just annihilate their workers. So obviously your opponent has to react and anticipate that because that's going to be a common strategy. Or if there are cliffs, then Reapers might jump up and then harass your workers. Or Hellions might come in and blow up or incinerate your drones. Whatever. It depends on the map and how the layout is. And it favors certain strategies, whether it'll be a long game, it'll be a short game, it'll be a harassing base game, it'll be this, it'll be that. And yes, you can win with different strategies, especially if you're below the top tier skill level. You could always end up beating somebody with weird stuff. But here's the thing. I think Phobies functions the same way. And I think that there's certain maps that favor certain strategies. Crypto is an obvious one, whereas early on, I felt like Jar was the thing, and then I discovered, oh, hey, beauty is a thing. It exists. Blastomatic, it exists, that sort of thing. I think if they modified the maps or just yanked maps out of the pool and replaced them with these new ones, like, I think I'm very anxious to see the new alien maps, because now the devs have all this data to say, well, this is what the world looks like. This is how the players are reacting as compared to their own internal testing. Chuck on crypto is cool too. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be very dangerous on this map, and is it oppressive in the long term? Maybe. Like, if we assume everybody had full collections and was at max level, maybe it's fine, because there's an answer in the pool. I don't know if that is true, though. I don't know if the answer, like, it may still be ridiculous, similar to the StarCraft example I was giving. Maybe beauty on these points, or Blastomatic on the stims, and being able to line attack the heart was intended, but it turns out, hey, it's nightmarish. I don't know. Beauty on this map a bot can execute? Well, I don't have beauty, so I don't know. I am torn on whether beauty is truly a problem, or it's just really good and the maps are a problem. Like, how bad is beauty? I mean, it doesn't make sense for these smaller maps, although it could be problematic. For some reason, I see a lot of beauty on Billy's room. But, like, is beauty a huge issue on Opticon? I'm sure it's very good. But is it as problematic as it is on Crypto? Or, I mean, maybe Xylo, I don't know. Arbitrary other map. And the same thing can be said of other phobies. It depends on the map. She's truly a problem. There are too many things going for her, too many things to play around. I mean, she is very good, but I'm very curious what the devs' thoughts are, and I'm hoping, because we know there's a beauty nerf coming, right? I'm hoping they give the rationale behind it. They'll never say, or I would never expect them to say, like, oh, well, we expected Phobie X, Y, and Z to be the counter to beauty. That isn't working out the way we thought it would, so we're just going to nerf it. I highly doubt, maybe they wouldn't ever say that. Like, it's not impossible, but I doubt they would. So if that were true, like, what is the counter to beauty? Because you can't really go over the top of an 8 cost, right? There aren't a whole lot of options. But at the same time, an 8 cost has to be very good. I think beauty can be brought in line. Honestly, I expect them to kind of like... They're going to do one of two things. Well, one of three things. They can increase the cooldown on the line attack. They could just decrease stats, namely health. Or they could get rid of the AoE on the attack. I was thinking that, DT, about Smiley being an answer, but is Smiley really an answer? Like, in what world is that ever going to happen? The world where Smiley is a bodyguard for the thing that you're trying to protect? I don't know. If the counter to beauty is disease, that's messed up, considering most people don't have those 3 phobies. To be fair, not many people have beauty. It's an ultra rare. Like, beauty is not that common. It shows up a lot in the games because the people who have it are clearly going to use it, right? Like, it makes sense. But I just don't think it's showing up a lot. You guys still watch my game against Ryuchi, Smiley against Beauty. The Beauty is always keeping distance. Yeah, we did go over that earlier, Honda. But disease is guaranteed by stress levels? At level 50? My point is, if you have a disease phobia, no one has to counter you, specifically just use mechs. Okay. But if someone pops out of beauty, you have to react. I mean, by that definition, they are reacting. And just because you can ignore disease, I mean, we're talking 2 different things. These aren't apples and apples. That's apples and oranges. Because the thing is, one's a mechanic. That's like saying that, oh, well, if you poison... Like, you can't compare poison to beauty, right? Like, they're 2 different game elements. One's an actual phobia, one's a mechanic. And the mechanic is going to require different things. I think there are lots of phobies that you must react to. Like, are they as egregious as beauty? Probably not. But, like, you need answers to a lot of things. I just think that there isn't as much risk to playing a beauty. You do play against beauties pretty often. Some of all feelers, maybe 20% of my games. That might be an exaggeration. I'd be surprised if it was more than, like, if it was 10% or more, honestly. Maybe the only way to make poison better is the effect trigger at the end of each turn. There are ways to make it better. I don't know if it would be good, though. I play against a jar every game, and it's ultra rare. Boom, roasted. Got him! Got him! I don't know, like, I absolutely accept it. If tomorrow the devs came out and said, hey, we're nerfing beauty, which we already know, it's going to lose at level 1 200 or 300 hit points, 100 damage on its line and its behold. That's still probably pretty good. Maybe. I don't know, I'm just kind of making up numbers, but that still seems like it would be pretty relevant and might bring it in line with the rest of the 8 costs. Like, honestly, aside from Boss and Heartbreaker, I don't remember what the stress level ones are. I mean, one of them we don't know, because I think it's one of the aliens, but, like, they're kind of niche. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what happened to Lufee. Unless Doc did it. Get beauty cowbell stats. I mean, that's part of the problem, is with balance, which we didn't talk about tonight. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Balance is a very complex thing. I'm too tired, and I'm honestly, like, legit sweating to death right now. Otherwise, I would probably stay on and do my balance tirade. So, chat, you're going to have to remind me tomorrow to do the balance tirade. I'm sure people will be more than willing to hear me rant and rave about it. But balance is a very complex thing. Postpone everyone's first heal or pull something off? What? Oh, you're saying rearrange the stress levels. So part of here's one of the challenges, Roxbridge, though. If there is a thing about overloading players, like giving them a million abilities early on, yes, somebody who's just starting out could end up queuing into somebody. This is not what I meant to click on. Somebody who's just starting out in heebie-jeebies could go against some whale that dropped $1,000 and has all these gazillions of things, and they just get pummeled. That's going to be like one game, because that person's quickly going to rank out just by virtue of what they have. But there is something where, because I've run into this myself with other games, where if you play a card game and you start off with your starter pack, and you zone in, and like everything has a keyword, everything has a wild ability, people are going to mentally check out, and they just won't play the game from mental overload. There are absolutely people who will do that. It sounds weird, but that's a thing. So, like, too many things in the starter is challenging. Starter pack Phobie with a decent key cost, weak disease, and adjust HP move range accordingly. Possibly. I mean, I could see the argument for switching it around, but, like, why have that instead of poison early on? I mean, aside from poison being bad, like, why have disease instead of poison? Because then you're going to get... Psychologically, it's better to go poison to disease from the developer standpoint, because it's like, oh, well, I had poison. I don't like poison. They're healing phobies now. Oh, they're a disease phobie, so I can use those to not have to worry about them healing. And healing spas, great. So it feels like an upgrade. Whereas if you do the reverse, every poison phobie feels bad from that point, because it's like, these suck. Consider how OP poison is early on already before people get healers. Exactly, like poison's busted early on. I love the stress level system for what it's probably intended for. It just gets exponentially more ridiculous to level as you get higher. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I don't like the stress, like, going up to 1 billion. And based on the quote from Boss, it sounds like the intent is that it may go up higher. Like, say, so we're now in July, but we got the update at the end of June. The game launched at the end of March, I think. So let's say at the end of September, we get another Phobie drop. Like, there's another, maybe that's getting ready for their Halloween event, which hopefully there is one. I don't know if there is one, but like, say they do a Halloween celebration, it starts at the beginning of October, and then we get 13 new Phobies. So now we're going to go up to stress level 200? Like, give me a break. Come on. And what if even worse, it makes it level 40? Like, I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't do that, because that's just real sad face. Maybe they have plans to work on the system at the very least. Where trust me, they are aware, because there's tons of people that they're actually responding to in the they Ask the Devs channel that are constantly saying these things. I just want to choose which stress level world I'm progressing. I think that would be cool. That would be pretty cool. But the problem is you don't know. Like, is that going to feel worse? For people, it might. Where, like, somebody's like, oh, I want this, and then they get Yeti, and it's like, oh, well, you missed out on Snowball because you went for Yeti. While I wish you could see what the damn stress rewards were, I think that's actually kind of annoying. I don't like this. I don't know. I think there's a number of things. It's still the same challenges. Now it's compounded with the economy for the game. Problem in the game I see is that they need more Phobies to fill certain niches. Like, I think someone said a lob electrical, maybe a lob poison. There is enough niches getting filled. I don't think you want those, Maximus, truthfully. Like, I'm sure we will get them, but I think people are going to hate it when it happens. Well, they'd have to show it, and it's still getting harder stress levels. So I can get Moffat, Snowbell, Oopsie. Would I prefer if you could choose? Yes. But that is another thing that makes it more complicated for a beginning player, because they're going to zone in and go, well, what do I pick? And I think it's going to create a feels bad moment, which will get people to stop playing. Maybe the first two are forced like Cat into Ginseng. It could be. Like, I could see the first few and then like, okay, now you're level 30. You unlock the ability to choose which things you get. That sort of thing. I think that would be worthwhile. I think that would be worthwhile. Even Clinico, so yeah, level 30, here are your options. Yeah, exactly. Like, you get your new Phobie, and then it says, by the way, you can, just like when you get the extra jacks and stuff like that. Make Ginseng starter pack, they could. I think, based on the early game, like the onboarding process for Phobies, I think they put a lot of thought into how they want it done. So I don't think it's realistic that that's going to change. As always, everybody, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and Black Lives Matter.